Good evening. How you feeling tonight? I'm pretty hot and I'm pretty tired. It's definitely getting summer out in Hirosaka. Anyway, I had a few thoughts tonight. It's about video games. I'm sorry. There was a little joke on the internet today from The Onion, usually very funny. And they were joking around about Super Mario Maker 2, which I very much look forward to. And they were like, oh, in the new Super Mario Maker 2, Mario can build a synagogue and have a bar mitzvah, which is like fine. That's a fine joke, and I certainly shared it. But it really got me thinking. Okay, and I know this is veering on no fun time, but it's like, why not? I don't mean the bar mitzvah thing. You don't need to put bar mitzvahs in Super Mario Maker 2. The point is, why aren't there video games with any Jewish things in them at all? Like, seriously. Why not? There isn't a really good reason. Because there already are video games full of Christian shit. Okay? For my entire life, video games have had Christian things in them. Okay? Whether it just be simple iconography, crosses, priests, churches, chapels, or actual like Christmas and Easter. Okay, those are in games too. All this Christian stuff is in video games. Where's everybody else? Why not have a video game with Jewish people in it? It doesn't seem that weird. And to be frank, while I'm sure The Onion was going for, just the outrageous, like, what a ridiculous concept joke, there are a lot of people on the internet, let's just call them for shorthand, the worst people alive. There are a lot of people who, when they hear news of any kind of not white content in a video game, they start complaining and hemming and hawing and saying, oh, everyone in a video game has to be a Asian trans woman in a wheelchair. Like, they make some ridiculous lengthy claim of various qualities. And it's the worst joke in the world because they're the worst people in the world. But in those cases, as with this, the same rule is, yeah, but what's wrong with that? What if we actually had a game with someone who was like that? Because guess what? The opposite, if you consider all white guys versus the rest of the universe opposites, but it's like, we already have tons of video games with white guys in them. We already have tons of games with Christmas stuff in them. Let's be honest, Super Mario Odyssey, how does that game end? You go to the moon, and there's a big goddamn chapel on the moon, and Peach is in a white wedding dress, and they're going to have a wedding, okay? That's pretty clearly, Christian stuff. I know in a lot of cases, especially in Japan, the Christian image of a wedding is very secular, but they could choose anything, okay? These people they aren't even human beings. They're just, it's a turtle lizard creature and a vaguely humanoid woman and a vaguely humanoid plumber man. Like, they could get married in any circumstance whatsoever and it would make the equal amount of sense. They could step on a giant egg and call it a wedding, But no, they chose the very specific white wedding dress and ringing bells chapel image. It's like, that's a Christian wedding. So whatever. I'm not actually mad, but it stung a little bit to me that The Onion just going for a very silly joke about bar mitzvahs and even a circumcision joke, and the people who actively hate Jewish people are basically making the same joke. They're going different directions. Their intent, of course, is totally different, but they're basically making the same joke. Wouldn't it be ridiculous if a video game wasn't about white people or Christian people or whatever? Pick your generic dude fantasy. And it kind of felt really tiring for a second, Because guess what? You could actually make a game with Jewish people in it. You really could. I played one. It was about a rabbi. It was okay. But yeah. Try harder, everybody. You can do better. It's totally possible. Anyway, I had a long night for various reasons I don't want to get into, but I'm going to sleep. Good night, everybody. I love you.